So we've been sifting through some comments on our more popular videos on the channel, and we discovered one recently that really piqued our interest. So on our top 6 attributes per position video, Grobocop2213 writes, "How can you not have agility in the top 6 for goalkeepers? Joke." And that's completely fair. I do strongly believe that the best goalkeepers in the world are particularly agile, and that agility probably enables reflexes and swift reaction saves. It's why Petr Cech used to do that silly tennis ball thing to warm up, and it's doubtless important to all goalkeepers in real life. So should it be in our top 6 attributes for goalkeepers in FM? Let's find out. So what we are going to do is simulate a Premier League season 3 times, picking a team that get battered everywhere they go. But in this case though, we've opted for last season's cannon fodder Sheffield United instead of Tottenham. Then what we'll do is one test will be run without any changes to the goalkeeper attributes whatsoever. That's our control for the experiment. The next test then will see us equip every goalkeeper with my version of the top 6 attributes, where the most important attribute has a 20 rating, the next 2 have an 18 rating, the rest of the top 6 have 16, and every other attribute is changed to 12. Then our last test will see Grobocop's call for agility as the most important attribute there, essentially pushing out the 6th most important attribute from my list. And the adjustments, which are now on screen, will be reflected to all goalkeepers. We're going to simulate just the one season per test, and then we'll look at the ratings and the performance stats side by side before we draw any conclusions. We've got a summer of experiments ahead of us, by the way, and we'll even be bringing in FM 2008 into the fray for future videos. So if you like this sort of thing, you know what to do. The last thing I'll say before we get going then is that I've no idea what the outcome of this is going to be. I could be very wrong with my top 6, and if the agility goalkeepers outperform mine, I'll be sure to give a shout out to Grobocop in the next version of that video talking about the top 6 attributes for FM25. I'll also buy him a pint. But who is your money on? Which set of goalkeepers do you think will come out on top in this experiment? Get those predictions down into the comments right now. First of all then, let's have a look at how the experiment went when we made no changes. So this is the control test, and as you can see we're in May 2024, and scrolling down the table we can see that Sheffield United finished dead last. They got 19 points with a minus 58 goal difference, and yeah, not a good showing in the control test here. 8 goals for our top scorer Cameron Archer, and then if we go into what the goalkeeping performances were like, we will bring these back up again against the test 2 and test 3 in Excel in a second, but yeah, nothing glowingly good down here, so without any changes, certainly nothing to write home about. Oh look, we're back in Microsoft Excel. So let's have a look, shall we, at how that control test is transposed into the data. We can see that we've got the save tip, save parried and saved handle score here for each goalkeeper, and then the total. And then some other key metrics like total saves, average rating, player of the match awards, etc. And first up we're going to have a look then at how the FM Immortal test compares. So unhiding this golden block should give us the results of test 1. And now it's broadly in line actually, so unsurprisingly Sheffield United were still relegated. I think that's going to be the case for almost every single simulation, and the numbers across the board are really similar. So you can see that 90 total goals were conceded as opposed to 88 in the control, 4 clean sheets as opposed to 5. The total saves were slightly higher, as was the average rating by 0.13, but the player of the match awards were lesser. And then yeah, total goal difference minus 56 instead of minus 58, 17 points instead of 19, but still they finished 20th. So this is the moment of truth. Is agility really that important? Well, let's unhide this last block and take a look, shall we? And the thing that jumps out immediately is that Sheffield United got more points, they had a better goal difference, they finished higher even though they were still relegated, but the proof is in the pudding when it comes to goals conceded, total saves and average rating for us. And we're going to go into then the actual comparisons over here on the right. So yeah, we can see quite clearly here that Test 2 has outperformed Test 1, not only in the kind of points and performance of the team and that league position change, but we've abbreviated a few of those other metrics we were just talking about to get to goals conceded per game, for which Test 2 came under 2, and Test 1 was 2.37, which was actually 0.05 worse than the control to begin with. And then the other kind of angle on it that we've taken, and the other kind of key metric that we think makes the most difference, is the average rating. And the reason for this actually is because we think that average rating will take into account the XG of the shot that is being saved. So you can see that in columns V and W here, we've actually labelled the handling saves as easy saves, and we've combined parries and tips as hard saves. And the reasons that we've done that is because the easy saves are typically those ones where there's a looping cross or a really tame header straight at the goalkeeper that they are expected to catch in the game and hold, whereas the hard saves, they are your penalties, your free kicks and your parries from close range which turn to rebounds, and there's no telling how many of those you'll have in a row either, but we think the average rating will factor that in. So the Test 2 being 0.17 better than Test 1 gives us a story that agility really does matter, and to concede almost 0.4 fewer goals per game, well, there's only one winner here. In hindsight, this kind of makes a lot of sense. As we spoke in a previous video where we attempted to think formulaically about what the FM match engine is doing when a player is actually on the ball, there are a select few attributes that are common denominators for almost every on-the-ball calculation. And for things like a striker putting away a chance, it'll be a composure and first touch test as much as a finishing one that defines how prolific they become. For goalies then, we stand by the importance of things like aerial reach, handling and reflexes, but agility is doubtless going to be an important aspect of their reaction calculations. You could have Mr. Tickle in goals, and he may be able to reach every stanchion at the same time. But if it takes him a while to react, or if he's done traps in the gym so much that he can no longer lift his arms over his head, then that sheet is not going to stay clean for long. In conclusion then, it's kudos to Grobocop. We'll definitely add agility into the mix if we reproduce that top 6 attributes video for FM25, and we can only encourage more of these kind of comments coming through that help us set up these tests with the in-game editor. Thanks for watching this one then guys, hope you've enjoyed. We've got lots more content on the way now that the Euros are done and dusted, so until next time my friends, adios.